A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Welcome to another edition of Bearing Arms, Cam and Company. My name is Cam Edwards. Glad you're with me on the program today. We're going to be talking about an event that's coming up this weekend in the Detroit area. You know, if you are a longtime Cam and Company listener or viewer, you have heard Mr. Rick Ector on this program for years now. Close to decades, right? Rick, a longtime firearm instructor in the Detroit area, legally armed in Detroit is his organization. And for well over a decade, Rick has put together an event in the Detroit area where he offers free firearm training to women of all ages. Used to hold this event around Mother's Day. And, you know, when Rick started out, I think the first year, maybe 100 people or so. It has grown into the thousands. This is such a huge event. Unfortunately, you know, Rick has had some health troubles in the past couple of years. And he is not able to conduct this event. But the NRA is stepping up. And a lot of volunteers are stepping up. And this weekend, the NRA is holding a legally armed in Detroit women's firearm training event, Saturday, July 25th, Sunday, July 26th. And I'm very pleased to have with us on the program today, Jackie Emslie, who is one of the NRA board members, but also a firearms instructor who is going to be there this weekend. Helping to instruct women. She said events like Legally Armed in Detroit are vital to introducing women to safe and responsible firearms ownership. She said we're seeing more women than ever seek out this training, and Legally Armed in Detroit delivers it in a welcoming professional environment that builds real confidence. So very pleased that Jackie could join us on the program. I've known Jackie for about as long as I've known Rick, quite honestly, and thrilled that she is picking up the torch and so many others are picking up the torch and continuing this tradition. Take a look and a listen. Jackie, it's so good to see you. Thanks so much for coming on the program today.
Oh, thank you so much, Cam. It's good to see you too, sir.
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed you at the annual meeting, but and I'm not going to be able to make it to Detroit this weekend, unfortunately. But I got to say, Jackie, I am so glad that Legally Armed in Detroit is going to be taking place this weekend. You know, Rick Ector has been such a friend of the show for so long. He's been such a great part of the Second Amendment community, part of the NRA family. And as I mentioned in my introduction, you know, he's had some health issues over the past couple of years. So I'm so glad to see that NRA and folks like yourself are picking up the torch, continuing to grow this incredible event that Rick has put together over the years.
Yeah, I believe it's in its 15th year, and the credit goes to Tanisha, who just kind of, like I said, took up the torch, and the rest of us are just kind of there to provide assistance to that event. So I'm looking forward to getting on a plane and getting myself up to Michigan and helping out with this event.
You know,
this will be my third year.
So you've helped out before then.
Yes, sir, I have.
So tell me about this, because, I mean, again, we're talking about sometimes thousands of people who show up. You know, when you've been out there and you've been helping teach these folks, I mean, are these women who have never touched a gun before? Are these women who maybe have some experience with firearms? Is it just, you know, anybody and everybody? Do you get a range of experiences?
Yes, and yes.
Okay.
So there are women from all walks of life. They're young, old. They come by themselves. They come in family units. I've seen several come in. They're just getting off from work, from working from wherever they're working, and they're just coming in their scrubs, coming in their workplace. So it's all over the place. So yeah, I know last year there was a little over 1,800 women over the course of 2 days. Yeah, which is, and at first I thought, well, how in the world are they going to do this? But it is so highly organized how one group will wait, and then they go into the assembly hall where they go through their 90-minute brief introduction to what safe and responsible firearms ownership is all about, a little bit about the rules of gun safety. And then they come around to the station that I happen to be at, which is the stance, grip, and sight station. So using the artificial firearms, we go through that. So that at least they know a little something before they head onto the range. And then they go back into the store. Then they go into the range on a rotating basis where there's anywhere from 15 to 20 instructors who are in our individual lanes in this beautiful indoor range. So yeah, it's really the flow of people. The flow is just really, really very, very well organized, and it's all done through online registration, so they know how many people, so they can limit the number of people that will show up during a 2-hour increments.
Okay, yeah. I mean, again, the organizing of this, the logistics of it is absolutely incredible. And I know in talking to Rick in the past, he's told me that he's seen women come through who've never touched a gun before, who have gone on to actually become firearm instructors themselves. I mean, this has been really a life-changing experience for a lot of participants.
Yes. We've also had women that will come in and say, had a great time. I'm not sure if I would ever do it again, but I still had a great time. That to me is still a victory, because even if she's never going to touch a gun again, that's not the idea of this experience. The idea is just to say, come and be with us, come and find out what safe and responsible firearms ownership is all about. And when you take your target and you head out for the day, we'll be here for you. If you need us, let us know, and we're waiting for you. So,
yeah. I mean, and really, I mean, it seems like this is we talk about the Second Amendment community, but seems like it's a community all in itself, right? I mean, when you said this is your third year, you're going to see some instructors you've seen in years past. You're going to, right? Is this a chance to see old friends and to make some new friends too?
Yes, sir, it is. Yes. And in the first year that I went, I only knew Todd Ellis, who is one of the NRA board members, and he's an instructor as well. But I've gotten to know people over the past couple of years. So it is very much a very nice, tight knit community that just believes so very much in this particular event, the Legally Armed in Detroit.
And, I mean, again, you talk about the number of participants. Clearly the demand is there, Jackie, right? And I've got to guess that this is not just limited to Detroit. I mean, what are you seeing at home in Florida? Is there, because it seems like we've been talking for decades about, women being one of the fastest growing demographics of gun ownership, of the Second Amendment. We've obviously seen the changes that, women gun owners have brought to the firearms industry. But it seems like this is still, growing, that there are still a number of women who are interested in exercising their Second Amendment rights and becoming gun owners for self-defense, even for recreation or for other activities, right?
Yes. Now down here in Florida, I've only been here for 2 years now, and I'm still getting my finger on the pulse of what's going on here in Florida. It is different. There is a lot of that in this particular county where I'm in. On the Atlantic coast, there's not that many places to go shooting, and so where do people go shooting? Out their backyards. So as an instructor, it's like, oh, wait a minute, hold it. but they do it safely, and if there was a problem, we would know about it, of course. But I know up in New York, it's that the gun clubs that I'm talking to that are conducting those 18-hour courses. They are and those are the people that I trained, so that when I left New York, the people who want to get their pistol licenses we're going to be in good shape, so that my departure was not a light switch. So I made sure that, and so my instructor friends are reporting to me that they're seeing 30, 40 people into their classes to get their pistol licenses, and that's an 18-hour requirement. So, and they are also telling me, and it's been consistent for the past, ever since the pandemic, that about 40 to 45% are women.
Wow.
And they're seeing increasing numbers of Black and brown women. And again, I say that out of respect. I say that respectfully, of course. Black and brown women who are just tired of being lied to by their people, by their leadership in those communities, and they say, "Oh, you don't need a gun." Yeah, I do, and they need us. They see that that skin color really doesn't matter to the Second Amendment, and here we are, and we are forging those relationships, and we're saying, we are here to help you. That's what we do. We're not here to convince you to own firearms, but if you're exploring, if you want to know something about it, please come and talk to us. Please come and talk to those of us who are heavily involved in this.
Yeah. Well,
We'd
again,
love to help.
I hope this is a great weekend for everybody involved, the participants, the instructors. Jackie, I'm so glad that you're going to be there in Detroit for the Legally Armed in Detroit event. And I wish all of you the best of luck and just have a great weekend.
Yes, thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you. Jackie Emslie joining us here on Bearing Arms, Cam & Company. My thanks once again to Jackie for joining us on the program. If you can get up there to the Detroit area, I think it'll be a fantastic weekend. And if you know somebody who, has maybe been curious about picking up a gun, going to a class, I think this would be a great experience. Because, again, not only is this a welcoming environment, but, again, it's the chance to really start to build that community of gun owners and Second Amendment supporters as well. So I hope it's a huge success this weekend. All right, on to today's Armed Citizen story, our good deed of the day, and our recidivist report. Before we do that, though, let's talk about this for a second. From city streets to mountain trails, your gear should go wherever life takes you. That's why in Modern Rugged Leather, every bag is handcrafted from premium, responsibly sourced leather. It's designed to look sharp, last long, and tell a story all its own. Every stitch, every buckle, every strap reflecting timeless craftsmanship, and it's backed by a lifetime warranty, because quality shouldn't quit when the adventure begins. So whether it's the boardroom or the back roads, Modern Rugged Leather helps you carry confidence every step of the way. Modern Rugged Leather, modern style, timeless durability, backed for life. Life takes you places. Make sure your gear keeps up. If you go to modernrugged.com, you can get on the list, get alerted when new collections drop, exclusive discounts, and more. They are relaunching the website soon with a brand new look and new product lines. You can be among the first to know when that new website launches. Again, just go to modernrugged.com, enter your email, and get ready. All right, on to today's Armed Citizen story, our good deed of the day, and our recidivist report. We will start there with a case out of Texas, where a man has been arrested in the death of boxer Hannah Rapp. So it turns out he has a lengthy rap sheet all his own. Police say the 26-year-old boxer died on Saturday after she was struck by a vehicle while riding her bicycle on a rural road south of College Station, Texas. According to local reports, she was riding alongside her boyfriend, Will Palalis, at the time. A man named Charles Eric Medina has been arrested, charged with manslaughter. According to authorities, Medina passed by the pair. Not much room there. And I guess Palalis maybe, raised up his hands, yelled at the guy. Medina is accused of putting his car in reverse and then backing into Hannah Rapp, who then, was thrown forward onto Medina's car, striking her head. She was taken to a local hospital where she succumbed from her injuries. And again, as it turns out, Medina, no stranger to law enforcement. ESPN reporting that his arrest history in Brazos County began 14 years ago in 2012 when he was arrested for reckless driving and evading arrest with a vehicle. He pleaded guilty in both cases. Then in 2014, he was arrested again for reckless driving. In 2020, he was charged with hit and run. ESPN said they were unable to determine how those cases were resolved. He was most recently arrested for deadly conduct in the discharge of a firearm in 2024. evading arrest in 2025. Both of those court cases remain open, so he's not been adjudicated in either of those cases, but he was out on bond, clearly. Brazos County Sheriff's Office told ESPN on Monday it couldn't comment any further on Saturday's incident because of an active investigation. They say the prosecutor's office and a court-appointed attorney from two of Medina's previous arrests did not return calls. So, again, listen, you go back to, 2020, I guess. That was hit and run. Would like to know how that charge was resolved. It is disappointing, but not necessarily surprising. You got cases that are, from 2024, 2025 that have still not been adjudicated. That, unfortunately, is not uncommon. But again, you could argue that given this guy's past history, he poses a threat to the community when he's behind the wheel and should not have been released on bond. But again, we don't have a lot of information to go on. Hopefully we will get more details, because when you see a rap sheet that long, all again related, I shouldn't say all, but many of these crimes related to crimes behind the wheel, and this guy is accused of now killing a woman by striking her with his vehicle, I think we can ask legitimate questions about whether the long arm of the law in the Lone Star State adequately dealt with Mr. Medina in the past. Today's armed citizen story from Port St. Lucie, Florida, where police say jealousy led to a deadly shooting and a third man acting in self-defense. This happened on Sunday morning about 3:30 in the morning. According to Port St. Lucie police, a woman had gone bowling with a couple of guys. She went to a home there about 3:30, but had been locked out, apparently, or was locked out. So she called her boyfriend, 24-year-old Carl LeBeau, and asked him to come over and unlock the door. When he got there, he got into an argument with the girlfriend and her two male companions, one of them a Julian Stokes, 22 years of age, and the other, an individual who apparently was also involved with this woman, a guy named Dwayne Walker. Police say that LeBeau approached Julian Stokes as he stood beside Stokes' Mustang in the driveway and then opened fire. The police chief in Port St. Lucie, Florida, says it appears that Stokes was standing beside the open driver's door, reaching in the vehicle when Carl LeBeau approached him from that same side of the vehicle and then opened fire on him. Dwayne Walker, the chief said, was in close proximity, probably around the trunk of the Mustang, when he was approached. Walker drew his firearm and shot LeBeau in what police say was an act of self-defense. Investigators say that Stokes was armed as well, but never fired his weapon. Detectives also believe that LeBeau may have mistaken Stokes for Walker, who, again, police say was in some type of relationship with LeBeau's girlfriend. The police chief in Port St. Lucie, Florida, said that incidents like this is the epitome of why people carry firearms. He actually praised Walker for being armed and for shooting and killing LeBeau, saying that if he had not, it was very possible that LeBeau would have gone on to kill others besides Julian Stokes. So, again, no charges expected for Dwayne Walker, who acted in self-defense and defense of others there. The chief did say, he said, this is a horrible choice for a solution to a problem that's not complex. He said, you're fighting over a girl, so there are plenty of other women in the world. Do you want to take the chance of being killed or killing someone or going to prison for life or worse over lost relationships? It makes no sense. And the chief's right. Even in that moment, if that was the moment that LeBeau realized that my girl's got another guy, I'm the side piece, maybe he's the side piece, but whatever. The anger, the frustration, the hurt feelings, the injured pride, all of those feelings do not justify trying to murder somebody, right? You get in your car, you drive away, you leave them unable to get inside that locked home. You call a friend, maybe not at 3:30 in the morning. Maybe you got a friend you can call at 3:30 in the morning. But there were a million other options for Carl LeBeau other than pulling a gun and starting to shoot. Once he did that, again, Dwayne Walker absolutely justified in defending himself and the others there at the scene. All right, on to today's good deed of the day. Owasso, Michigan, where a police officer helped save a man's life and then went back to help mow his yard. As somebody who is currently mowing a yard like twice a week, I think that's a very good deed. Officer Mike Olsey said he responded to a call on Saturday morning, May the 2nd, about a guy in cardiac arrest. Two neighbors had already started performing CPR on the man named Josh Fagan, who was actually outside mowing his yard when he had this heart trouble. Olsey took over CPR until paramedics arrived. And then when he was back on patrol the next day, he noticed that the mower was still sitting in the yard. And so he checked himself out on dispatch, finished mowing the yard, including bagging the grass clippings. He said, I was hoping to fly under the radar and just do it. He said, but somebody brought it up at city council because, he was in uniform when he's out there mowing the yard. Story later reported in the local paper before it gained traction on social media. Fagan was recovering in the hospital when he learned what the officer had done. He said, he just came back and mowed the yard for us out of the kindness of his heart. Said it was huge. Fagan is now out of the hospital. He has reunited with Officer Olsey as well as the two neighbors who performed CPR on Fagan, Patty Schilling and Rita Atchison, the first two neighbors there who, again, also helped save Fagan's life. Olsey said that he did not expect to receive the praise that he got from the community. He said, if anybody knows my dad, he said he would have done the same thing. He said, I guess I chalked it up to being raised right. But he says, it was passed down to me. Hopefully I can pass it down to others. And in the right place, at the right time, willing and able to do the right thing for a man in need. Officer Mike Olsey there in Owasso, Michigan, we thank you, for your very, very good deed. And I thank you for being a part of the program as always. Looking forward to seeing you back here again tomorrow. We're going to be talking with Daniel Schmutter, one of the primary attorneys in the, this was the Association of New Jersey Rifle and Pistol Clubs versus Platkin, who's no longer the Attorney General. The Third Circuit case dealing with New Jersey's ban on so-called assault weapons and large-capacity magazines. As you might imagine, Daniel Schmutter has quite a bit to say about the Third Circuit decision striking down those laws. Looking forward to having him on the program tomorrow. Be sure to check out bearingarms.com throughout the day today, keeping you up to date on all of the latest Second Amendment news and information from all across the nation, including some additional legal cases, a new lawsuit filed in the U.S. Virgin Islands, a Fifth Circuit case that one judge says could upend federal law, and more. Got it all for you there at bearingarms.com. I'll also be on Newsmax in the 6 p.m. Eastern hour tonight, talking with my friend Carl Higby on 2A Tuesday. Well, hopefully we'll be able to see you there as well. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, be well, be safe, and be free.